And we are back. Man, welcome back to another edition of Atlanta's #1 sports podcast, The Waterboy Show.
Oh, we #1, baby.
Yeah, man, what's going on, B. Rich?
Nothing much, man. I just thought about something when you said that.
What you just think about?
When Aaron said, and we are fat.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, he can't say that about me no more, man. I'm on my way down. I'm on my way down, man. I'm trying to leave the fatness alone.
Oh, you looking good, too, man. You're doing a good job.
Man, you know what? I feel a whole lot better, man.
I kind of feel bad because 2 weeks ago you told me I was fat as AF.
Okay.
Yeah, I still think about it.
You waiting on me to apologize?
Yeah, man.
Boy, you better stop. Ain't no apologies coming. Take it as motivation.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you heard what Kendrick told Drake? Do some push-ups or something.
Hey, mama, you can
It's
get mad
all
at
good.
him now. It's okay. Go ahead and get mad at him.
It's cooked. You know I love you, man. But anyway, man, we here today, man, to talk some Falcons, man. So, hey, we definitely brought one of our favorite Falcons of all time. Hey, man, you know, we got, but I ain't going to call him by his name. He said his family called him. He just put me up on some game that those that are endearing to him call him. And I feel like we should be on that list at some point. You know what I'm saying? We should be on that list at some point. But anyway, man, to all y'all out there, once again, man, you already know who it is. Number 55, all the way live, man. Back with the great John Abraham. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up.
Hey, man, I love you, John. Y'all, he was our first hit record, man.
No
you know
question.
how you had hits? That was our first hit record.
Yeah.
Let's go on. We going,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Appreciate you, John.
yeah. Shout out to
man,
Mark Cheney.
I
who
appreciate
told
y'all
us that.
having me, man. It ain't a far distance to get here, and I see B all the time walking, staying in shape. So y'all talking about that fat thing? It's about a lifestyle, man. I think how y'all moving in life, y'all doing the right thing all the way around, and it don't just start just from the mic, man. It starts from outside the mic, just the influence y'all getting now, and just the stuff that y'all doing. It's a whole different level, man. I appreciate y'all still having me come through.
Man, like you still can play, man. What's up?
Man, we don't play like that. We play with money now.
if you had any snaps left, how many snaps do you have in one game right now?
I could play a full game, but I don't think it's worth it, because of concussion stuff. I be thinking about that thing walking around. I'm like, man, I can get a good game, man. I'm like, oh, yeah, you lead this game. You start all the way back from 2014 and have to start back and all that crazy stuff again. I was like, nah, you don't want to do that. I worked too hard to get my kids, in a good position. I worked too hard to get myself in a position to feel good about myself, so it ain't worth it, man. It's good to watch, though. It's good. I can watch it now. Before, man, I couldn't even watch the football.
Yeah.
I'm
You
dead. I
couldn't even watch it at all?
I couldn't watch it, man, because I was living football still at my house. Like, I would literally wake up in the middle of the night, thought I played a full game. Now my dreams are a little different. I still have the vivid dreams, but they're more of, like, about life. But before, it was just straight up football, man, like straight up football. Like, some nights I wouldn't sleep because I ain't wanting to dream about that thing. Wake up, go to the restroom, like I'm going to the locker room. Like, I go straight there. Yeah, so that stopped happening probably, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's a good part. But I still have, like, dreams, though. The vivid dreams are still there. So there's still a lot of part of me that I'm still working on. You know what I'm saying? And I think people got to understand that I don't want to always come on talk about my mental health and things I go through, but it is a part of my life. But I can say from when we first started, or when y'all first started, to when I first started talking about my journey, I have a lot more positive stuff to talk about now.
Man, I've been seeing you. I'm sorry, Trey. I've been seeing you getting around, man. I seen you at the draft, man. You was sharp, man. Sharp like a Sharks fan, man. What you had on, man?
Man, I had on like a $150 suit I got online. Hey, it was so fresh though. I wore it for New Year's Eve. Cause I wore it for New Year's Eve, right? And I was like, and this was like, I don't really go to that New Year's Eve stuff. It's corny. But I went for like 5 minutes. I said, man, I'm about to repeat this suit.
Yeah, hey, man.
I said, I'm about to repeat this suit. And it came out looking fresh as death. When I got on stage, I was like, okay, all right. And see, y'all ain't let me put my Beijing in today. So if my hair look bad, y'all blame these two dudes.
Man, ain't nobody worried about the way your hair look, man.
You know I'm getting old, man. You want to look good on TV.
Man, you doing good. Look, I think a lot of younger Falcons fans who know about you, but may not know about your whole career, I think it probably took them back a little bit. I think they were shocked to see you out there in the all-white calling a pick for the Jets, not knowing that that's the team that drafted you. That's the team that gave you your first opportunity. I mean, how was that entire experience?
I think the big thing is forgiveness, man. You know what I'm saying? Not worrying about what you did in the past. Like, even if you have a friend that, it's crazy because the older we get, the less that we realize that what we were mad about wasn't that big. Wow. You know what I mean? And I'm like, for me, it was like, man, the Jets got me started. Woody Johnson, that was his first year being the owner.
Okay.
So, he picked 4 picks. He had 4 first-round picks. That's a lot of, that's I'm saying for me personally, you think about how many guys you got to worry about. This your first time doing it. That was my first time in the league. Herm Edwards' first time being the head coach. So it was a lot of first going on. The first time having 4 first-round picks.
Yeah.
So everything was just like first going on. So just because you're the man out, and think about it, all this was gone except Sean Ellis. Sean stayed longer than everybody. He was a first-round pick. So even with the Falcons, man, I had to forgive because I was hurt. Getting cut from somebody just like getting fired. I'm sure y'all had an artist or something, and they was like, oh, yeah, I'm moving on to somebody else. You're like, man, I put it all my blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
I know that guy might have bigger things going on, but all this I did for you, and you going to do this? So being on that stage, man, it felt good, man, because also it just showed, like, the growth that I'm having to being around people. Yeah. I went and I did what that little dance called? The boots. I did the boots on the ground when I walked
did
out.
boots on the ground. Yeah, okay.
You had a hat on.
803. No,
Yeah.
I ain't wearing no hats. No, my head too big for that. I gotta get a bucket hat. But it was a good experience, man. I'm glad you pointed that out because being out there and also for me being around those other players, getting connect. So maybe I can call somebody now and say, hey, you need him, be rich. You need him, bro. Like I can do that kind of stuff. And you got to understand the area you in. You got to be in that area. So I know I'm in that area now. Like hell, I should be a Hall of Famer. So and I'm just
You're gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Even if I don't, the same thing is I gotta respect what I did in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like in that game, just like you said, like how y'all doing now. You like man, you gotta respect what you did because like if you don't brag on yourself a little bit, or if you don't. I ain't even saying brag. If you don't keep it real with yourself, if you don't keep it real with yourself and say I did this, people ain't gonna respect it. You know what I mean?
Man, let me tell you something. You said you might not even remember saying something about a resume on our show. We had Brian McFadden, B-Mac on the show. He said something about a resume, and Champ Bailey said just speaking, not even in the same conversation or about the same thing. Just speaking like, man, your resume is your resume, and that's just what it is. Your resume, what you put on the field, what you put on your resume, it should be respected and it should be discussed, and you should be proud of it.
Oh, no
you know what I mean? Like Champ was talking, he was talking about his Mount Rushmore. He was like, hey, man, what he did, man, his resume is his resume, meaning they can't take from you what's down there on that paper. What you put out there on the field, they can't take back from you, so you should celebrate it.
Fact.
Yeah, you should celebrate it, man. Well, speaking of players, being upset with teams who may have let them go, we're going to come into today. Man, Calvin, man, old Red, man. Calvin seemed like he's still kind of upset with the Falcons. Boy, when the Falcons put out a video of A.J. knocking a pass down on him, he came in, boy, right on Twitter and said, show the whole video. You know what I'm saying? He said, now show the whole video, man. And then the next day, leaving the field, he told the writers, now write how we won today. I said, boy, Calvin, he really wants to show that he is getting the best of the Falcons out here, man.
I ain't mad at him though. Like
no, you
for
can't
real,
be.
I mean, you gotta have that kind of tension. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me go. Like I told you, I had to forgive too. I had to forgive the Jets. I had to forgive my mom, man. I had to forgive like so many people, but also a lot of people had to forgive me too. Like, look, John, you weren't the greatest person in this situation. So, but for Calvin, it's still fresh.
Yeah.
Think about it, they keep getting more receivers every year, and they keep, they got Drake now. They get this guy. They getting this guy, and he kind of thinking. And I ain't gonna lie, like when I left the Falcons, I was more mad because I'm like, I want to stay with these guys I'm with.
Yeah.
I see what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In 2016, y'all ended up going to the Super Bowl. So I was like, I wanted to be a part of this. The reason why I came back because I want to be a part of this. So think about it, you in Tennessee and y'all barely can keep a quarterback. Y'all got Cam Ward now. Sure, he might be great, but we don't know. Tennessee ain't been really hitting on nothing. So yeah, some of that is jealousy and some of that is just like F you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'll be mad, too. Like, look, I'm over here in Tennessee. I'm like, man, Tennessee ain't like Atlanta. I can't go to Magic City on Wednesday. I can't do it. It's a lot of stuff that's different, you know what I'm saying, having to move and pick up. Because I had to go to Arizona. Man, I was just like, in Arizona, I guess that Martin phrase is the funniest thing, though. I didn't want to go to Arizona. You remember Martin? Martin, the little boy. Oh, man, don't worry about it. But, yeah, but but it's just like for him, I feel where he's coming from, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stress, man, because you got to uproot your family. You feeling like you played well enough. But, and then the situations off the field is what really took him away from Atlanta. He knows that.
Yeah. So, look. We off into the preseason, man. We're going to go ahead and bring it to the now. We off into the preseason. I know you've been up there at camp. I know you've been, definitely hearing some things, man. So what's your thoughts on where the Falcons are right now, in camp and in the preseason? Like, what are you looking to see out of the Atlanta Falcons right now? It could be defense, it could be offense. Like, what are some of the things that stood out to you at your time at camp?
I can start now and say, and I don't think we're a Super Bowl team yet, but I see they're headed towards that. I think this is going to be a confidence year, and next year or maybe the year after that, they'll totally be a Super Bowl caliber team. With Raheem Morris, he's just so cool. All the players dig what he says, and I think that's the biggest thing with a head coach. You got to have your players playing like how you coach. Like you can have, let's say if you have a strong coach that does this, but then they get on the field and they look nothing like the person. Like Robert Saleh when he was with the Jets, the offense just couldn't get right. Defense, now he in San Francisco, he's gonna look pretty good. James Pierce Jr., he's everything that they marked him to be. I watched him at practice. I watched him highlights from the game. He's just a fluent pass rusher. He doesn't have the weight and stuff, and once he learns the game, you're gonna see it's scary, man. I'm scared that all my little records are gonna be taken down that I have here so far because he has just that fluency. Jalen. Y'all know what y'all get because y'all from Georgia. Y'all seen the guy. He's an avid worker. He reminds me kind of Cam Jordan. He's not one of those guys you're going to see just beat somebody off the ball like super quick, but that's James Pierce Jr. So you're not going to see him do that, but you're going to see him push the pocket. You're going to see him move around. You're going to see him get in the backfield, and that's going to help James out. You know what I'm saying? So they have so many young guys. Like I had the pleasure of meeting Bijan. He got 3 different names now. We don't know exactly what to call him, but we're going to call him, Bijan. So I talked to Bijan and I talked to Drake. The one thing that I can say that's different from when I was playing here, those guys are locked in. And I think they get that from Raheem Morris. Like, he understands living life and having fun, but he also understands that you can be a Hall of Famer. You can be a Pro Bowler. You can be an all-pro guy. We just need you to do this and do that. When I was here, I started with Jim Moore. Everything was so lax. And I was just crazy because I went from New York where the coach was kind of like military style. Then you came here, I walk into 34 Buchanan. I walk to Ray Buchanan house, walk in, I see the coaches in there. I'm like, okay, Atlanta, I like y'all. Hey, I walked in, I'm looking like, okay, so that's it. I'm like, they got a beer and just drink. I'm looking like, this is okay, I like it here. This is all right. So, it's just like a different establishment. But, Raheem is kind of like a family man. And it's like the people they bringing in now are like that. Like, from the offensive line to D-line, even bringing Floyd in. I think Floyd is going to be good for those guys to see an older guy do it. Whether Floyd is the positive they want or the negative they want. Well, I want to have 10 sacks a year. Floyd is only getting 8.5, 9. I want to push myself past him. So even have that characteristics there. And when I was talking about Drake and Bijan, it's just that camaraderie they have. You don't see anybody beefing. Everybody beefing about James Pierce Jr. because he's just kicking everybody's ass in practice. That ain't a bad thing to have. That's what you want. In a defensive player, you want that. You want the little fire that they're bringing in. Like they said, you want somebody that can come and bring you. It's going to help the offensive line. And I think the biggest problem for this year is the offensive line is going to have to be way better because, they got a quarterback that can move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They gave up 30 sacks last year, which is not bad. But you saying that Matthews been there for 13 years going on. We got Newsel starting at center. We got Bergeron. That's the one that I called at the draft. Yeah, I called him at the draft.
Okay.
And we got McGarry is going to be one of the most important people on the team. You understand why?
And they just gave him a contract.
But you understand why he's the most important? You got a left-hand quarterback now. So he
side.
become the blind side guy now. So his position just changed. Like, all this, that's why I like the aggressive defense that, the aggressive defense that they bring in with Jeff Ulbrich is going to make that offensive line better. And that's going to make Bijan better. Because I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, man, Bijan had 1,400 yards. Think if he didn't had a juke so much. Think if we could see Bijan just hit it straight down the hill. Because you'll see him in the back. I said, he probably had 500 yards just juking. Wait till we see Bijan because we need more explosive plays, and I think we have a quarterback that can do that. We have Pitts that literally is, we just waiting and we tired of waiting. You know what I mean? Like, this is really his make-or-break year. You use 1,000 year, your rookie year. That's because Matt will put it out there for you. You have a quarterback that literally went on TV and said that we going to do more of that. Yeah. Y'all golfing together, y'all hanging out. We need to see it on the field, you know what I'm saying? And you possibly can have 3 people with 1,000 yards, and Algiers, good guy in the backfield also. So they have everything that they need. And I think Jeff Ulbrich and Nate Ollie are going to be the guys that we're really going to focus on this year because I'm a defensive guy. Offense, y'all might have somebody else come and talk about how the tight end position. No, that ain't my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at stuff like that. But Nate Ollie has been in Philly. He's been in he was in Philly first, then he came from Houston. So you got to think about the guy. He had Will Anderson there, and he had Hunter there.
Okay.
So you can see almost the same thing with Floyd and Pierce or Floyd and, with Floyd and Jalen Walker.
Yeah.
You can see all that stuff kind of like accumulate so he knows how to coach those guys.
Yeah, well, he also spoke, and B-Rich can elaborate on this because B-Rich spoke to him. Tell him about what Coach Ollie said about Braylon Trice.
Okay, when I got a chance to speak with him, he said Braylon Trice is very, very violent. And he said he's looking really good coming off the injury and feels like he could really, be very well, if he has just an injury-free season. What do you think about Braylon Trice?
Well, I think that's anybody when it comes to injuries because, like, the reason why I not hurt myself, the reason why I talked about myself so down is because if I had no injuries, it would have been ridiculous, the numbers. I mean, I missed 40-some games, and I ain't trying to bring this about me at all, but I'm just saying when the injuries come, if you look at San Francisco, if you look at a lot of Aaron Rodgers that last year, you look at a lot of these situations where people get injured and their career changes. Trice is a violent guy. He's going to have to keep that coming, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that getting back on the field, sometimes in the back of your mind, you think about re-injuring yourself. And if you can get over that hump, you're fine. So, with him, I think it's possible. I haven't seen enough tape on him to really, say this guy is awesome or this guy's going to be like that until I, really focus on him.
Okay, I want to take it back because this is something that I want to know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of fans want to know. All right, we spent next year's first-round pick, and you touched on Pierce. You say, why do you think he's going to be wrecking havoc? Like, give me, what you see. Like, let us know the real ins and outs because, a lot of people said that was a bad trade for us, to do that. So explain to us why that's going to work and what you're seeing because I can see you touched on Braylon Trice, but you really touched on Pierce.
Yeah, well, obviously, Jeff Ulbrich. If you look at the Jets when how they handled the D-line, how they always had a defensive pass rusher. So I think that's the first thing because he knows how to put everyone in a good position, whether it's you can go all the way from the middle linebacker to the safeties with J.C. Bates. He's going to put everybody in position to win. So that's the first positive. Nate Ollie. You have an experienced D-line coach. You have an experienced guy that can, like I said, he's seen these type of players before, so he can automatically put them in the right position. And then you have, it's just been so bad here that they had to do that. I mean, let's be realistic because we talking about it now because y'all suffered 10 years of, you get a flash of, I don't even want to say that guy's name, but you had guys that y'all drafted and trying to fill a spot. So this is what people don't understand. People think that the Falcons haven't been trying. In the last 10 years, they had 4 first-round picks that were edges. That's not how you. That's not how you want to draft, but that's how you have to draft. And so they've been trying their asses off. You know what I'm saying?
Anderson.
Yeah. And think about it. And after I left, they still tried. They had OC come in. They had the White Freeney come in. They had guys. And look at all the other guys that are not here anymore that we thought was going to be. I guess AK's still here. He got 6 sacks in the last 3 years, so that's good. But they know that every time they turn that film on, the first thing people are going to say is, where's the pass rushers? Where's the pass rushers? Because you've been hearing it for years, right? So they made an attempt. Like, even when they got Matt Ryan, their attempt was like, look, people ain't going to think about Mike Vick no more. Now they're saying, we're going to do something now. Y'all ain't going to think about the pass rush no more. We're going to bring a pass rush coach in. We're going to bring another pass rush coach in. And we're going to bring 2 studs in, one from Georgia, so y'all got to be on his side because we in Georgia. It don't make sense for you not to cheer for him.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bring Pierce in because he's the sexy pick. And if you watch him when it comes to hands, feet, and he's the kind of guy that don't like contact, kind of like I was. I didn't like contact. Not saying that I'll play the run and everything, but, quickest way to get off. If you watch him, his hands, you watch his feet. And I'm just sitting here watching the guy. I was like, he don't even know what he's doing, and he's going out there. And he's always around the ball. Like, if you see him, he's always around the ball. And that's what you want in the defensive end. It's almost like he a linebacker / defensive end / cornerback / safety because he's only like 235, 230. But he moves seamlessly. He moves seamlessly. And that's what you want to see in the defensive end. Like, I can see Michael Parsons, but I can see him more fluent than Michael Parsons in some instance because he's longer. He has a longer build, so you see him just like boom, 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 boom. And he's only going to get better. This is his rookie year, so he don't even know what half the stuff he's doing. Once everything, you get all the information, and you go from year 2, 3, 4, he's going to be just moving like nothing.
So why do you think all the fights occurred? Like, what's going on with that? He ain't having it. He up there starting shit, or what's going on?
Chip on his shoulder, man. Coming from Tennessee, I can even say when I was at the combine, I didn't know who he was. Because think about it, there are a lot of kids that come in there. And I went to the combine to visit with the IPP players, international players, and I also went just to coach some of the guys. And I was kind of just looking at, Kennard from South Carolina. I wasn't really worried about all the other guys. I'm a Gamecock, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I do. I do. Georgia boy out there, you're going to look for him. So I got to see Jalen. I got to see a lot of other guys there at the draft. And I didn't know who he was because he was very quiet. He was to himself the whole time. Like, we had these big meetings and everything. I'll see him walk out and do this, and I'm looking like, who is that kid? And so then after he ran that 40, with a hoodie on now, like, he ain't even like, that dude, you could tell he was mad. He was tired of everybody talking about how what he did off the field or what this and this and this. He's like, he can't play football, man. So he has a chip on his shoulder. And it's like even with the music business, even with a lawyer business, even with any kind of business, you want to let people know your name from the go. I ain't taking no trash from here. Like, y'all want to get better, y'all got to meet me at my level. Yeah. You ever heard that kind of stuff? Like, if you want to get better, you got to meet me at my level. This is how I practice. This is how I'm going to practice. So, Matthews, I don't care if you're here 13 years. I'm a rookie. I'm going to show you that you're going to practice today. You ain't getting this little, we're going to get better. So, I think it's more of a pressure thing of him. Like, think about it. I was the second pick, right? We had Sean Ellis at 12. I was 13. Same position pretty much. 2 outside rushers. Sean was this high. It was 12 and 13. And as much as I love Sean, I'm better than you, bro. So you don't think he looking at Jalen like, all right, you went to Tennessee, I went to Tennessee, you went to Georgia, and everybody talking about how great a leader you is and all this and that. I ain't saying he don't like him as a person, but when it comes to like, it's like even if y'all had to make some music right now, you like, man, I love you, boy, but I'm going. So this is competition. Like me and Sean was competing in practice. Like if I got a sack, we was happy, but then it was like, man, I need to get one. So he like, man, I'm trying to push forward because think about it, 3-4 years from now, it's going to be a situation of which one we going to keep.
Somebody got to get paid. Somebody might be.
Yeah, it's being real, man.
You are rocking with the Waterboy Show. We are getting real exclusive content from John Abraham talking about how it is to be a defensive end in the NFL, giving us insights on why Pierce is going to be a Hall of Famer. Ain't that right, John?
I ain't giving y'all that, but he gonna be. I can see him breaking a lot of my records that I put up here. I can see him if he stay healthy.
A lot that you.
If he can stay healthy, I think because in the regime, getting drafted from the Falcons, they tend to keep the players a little longer. I got traded here. If I was drafted here, it'd have been a wrap, man. Like 133.5 would have been in the wraps. My number would have been up there a long time ago. But it's just like the situation of being traded here. So they don't really choose you. So getting chosen like, Matt, Julio, those guys deserve that because they were chosen for the team. So I get what they're doing. But he definitely has the potential. If he stay healthy and, stay away from downtown, like most people know, like we stay away from downtown would be good. Like I wish they would have told me to stay away from downtown. I live downtown. So, but you stay away from downtown, you'll be pretty good, man.
Hey, John, me and Trey know why you was traded here. We was at the game when you was a Jet, and you gave Michael Vick hell. Remember that, Trey? Yeah. Pure hell. And that's when Trey was like, man, that dude right there, man, the Falcons need to get him. And dang on it, that's when they got us, man.
Yeah, that was fun, though, man. Like, the reason I came here is because of the fans. So you probably was one of the reasons I came. Like, real talk, like, it had nothing to do with, anything else. But when I came in here, the environment just felt like football. Yeah. Because, like, when I was in high school, I had a small school, so I kind of knew everybody. So when I came to the Falcons, it felt like I knew everybody. Even though I ain't knew none of y'all or nothing like that. Yeah. It was like when people came here, and when I got here in 2006, that's when T.I. was just popping, Jeezy was just popping,
things were going crazy.
BMF was popping, Bad Boy, not Bad Boy, I'm sorry, not So Def, yeah.
Yeah, So Def, yeah.
Yeah, So Def was popping. It was like everything was going good in Atlanta then, man. And this the time in Atlanta when people used to give you a bottle. Like, so if B. Rich was over there, I'll send him a bottle. He'll send me one back. It wasn't no hate. Like, when we went in the club, back in the day, we went in the club, it was like, oh, so-and-so can't get in. Oh, let's go get him in. Like, now they got ops. We ain't had ops back then. We did have ops. We had people we didn't mess with, but we ain't really had no ops.
I went to the op
Yeah, that dude might.
standpoint.
We ain't gonna kill nobody because you might have hit the
Yeah.
same chick I hit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? We
yeah.
had basketball players over here, football players over here, rappers over here, and it like the industry is just different now. You know, like because we used to love each other, man. We see him come in. Now it was a competition. Now we gonna
Yeah.
compete in that club, but you know, at the same time it was always love though.
Yeah, man. With that, hey, look, that was a great time in Atlanta. Got to throw DTP in there too. We'll
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
Ludacris
yeah.
and the boys in there.
There's so many names to talk about.
Yeah, man, it's so many, man. It's so many to, yeah.
Shorty Low, I could have been talking about all
Yeah.
all the people I talked about was in my building though.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, everybody was right. He was my next door.
Yeah,
neighbor,
nah,
so it was
like,
yeah, it was
look,
cra-
when
it was
you
crazy.
start naming, I'm trying, and I was
So
in the
many
mix.
names.
I'm trying to pull the names out of my thought process.
So many names.
So,
man.
but look, I want to go back to you. You touched on him a little bit. You touched on Honor Educated. What do you think we should expect out of him this year? Do you think we can finally see a breakout year? He stayed hovering around that 6.5 type sacks in his career. Do you think with some of the younger boys coming in that he may be able to elevate his game to another level this year? What are you expecting out of him?
You know, I want to say yes, but with the people they brought in, I can't see the reps coming. Unless every time he get a rep, he getting a sack. And, you know, like the less reps. And you had the opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to talk bad about anybody, but when you have an opportunity and you kind of staying real lax, like you don't see the fire in him like I want to see, like I want to be on the field. It's kind of like I'm just proud to be in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, because if you want to be that starter, you're going to see it when you play. You're going to see it in the practice. You're going to see the more, hey, coach, I need more plays. Da-da-da-da. You want to see it. We don't hear about it. We just kind of hear his name, you know, get a sack, and then you kind of, no, I'm jumping up and down. Y'all going to see me. I'm coming to every event. Y'all going to know my name just because I want to play. Like my rookie year, even when I was in Arizona, I didn't play. Like, people don't understand. I made the Pro Bowl in Arizona, but the first 4 games, I didn't even play. Like, people, and I was just, like, okay with it because I'm, like, my 14th year, I didn't care. But then when I started, like, nah, I need to be up, da-da-da-da, I started telling them I need more plays. Like, you want me to do this? But then somebody got injured. Then I ended up making the Pro Bowl because I had to advocate for myself. I don't know how much advocating he's doing for himself. And, you know, getting 6 sacks is cool if you're a backup. But it ain't going to get you no paper. It ain't going to get you no bag. It ain't going to get you any, like, experience. Like, people love his name because it's easy to say, AK. Like, people say AK, and they like to say that. And got a nice number and everything. But when it comes to playing, they're going to have to keep bringing other people in. You're not important as you think you are. You know what I'm saying? Or unless you want to be a professional backup.
Yeah,
and ain't nothing wrong with being a backup. You can get 4, 5, 6 million just being a backup, and you don't got to worry about getting in no trouble, nothing like
But
that.
if you're
You
trying
good.
to elevate.
If you want to elevate and be like the guy, and they pressed you this year, just bring these 2 guys in. The first game he did play well, had a sack, caused fumble, but also it was a preseason game. And it looked good, but I'm like, for me, it's like too little, too late, because they're going to want to see. Only way they don't have James Pierce on the field a lot is he don't learn the plays. And you still got Leonard Floyd that's going to start. Like, you got 2 guys that are penciled in to start. So you got to say James next because they're going to want to see him early. Even AK, if he do good or he don't, he's still going to be 4th. So you got to think about it. You got to wait till these guys get tired for them to get in. And usually we try to keep it at a 3-man rotation. You know, especially for outside backers. You only want 3 people. You can't take 4 sometimes because you might need a special teams player. You might need an extra quarterback one day. You might need an extra receiver because you don't know if somebody get hurt. So you might not get the opportunity to be in there as much as you are in the preseason. Yeah, real talk. People think that everybody dresses out. No. You have people on the team, but you only dress out a certain amount of people.
Man, well, this the year that he's gonna have to show and prove, like, it really is.
Yeah, if he dresses out.
If you really listen to what John is saying, like, you can kind of tell the truth in what he's speaking, because how he talked about Pierce, he not no dick rider. John gonna really give it to you how it is. So that makes me feel good hearing him, because when we talked last year with John, he talked about some other things. He kept it 100. So I feel like what he's saying about, you need to be a talent evaluator, man, for these teams.
I would for defense. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't offense be weird as hell to me. I still don't understand what you supposed to be looking for in a quarterback. I think all the quarterbacks terrible. I still think Kyler Murray terrible. I think Trevor Lawrence terrible. Matt Ryan was good. I like him, but I'm like, Cam was good. I know, but some of these quarterbacks, they be like, oh my God, his arm is. Watch how he puts that. I'm like,
You know what?
I don't get it.
All right, I'm put you on the spot. Michael Penix Jr. Tell me what you think about him.
I think his confidence is out of the roof, and I think that like all those guys' names, Matthew, like Jake Matthews, Newsel, Bergeron, okay, who I got left? Lindstrom, and I got McGarry. Those guys got to make him great. I think the only way he's gonna be great because of them. Only way Bijan's gonna be great is because of them. And like I said, with the defense that they have now, they're gonna make these offensive linemen better. Like it seemed like if you watch football and you watch their O-line, you don't see any fire. I don't know if y'all see it, but I see it's kind of like back when I played, it was like the echo of the whistle. You block to the echo of the whistle.
Yeah.
Like, brrr, and they still like this.
Yeah, they still going.
And you see, like I said, even with Bijan, like Bijan should be an explosive back. Like he should have more than 3 explosive plays. His longest run is like 34 yards. I'm like, like every time I watch the game and I seen him in there, and the reason why I'm saying that he hasn't had a really explosive game because what I'm saying about the juking is when you're juking, you give all these defensive linemen and you give these other people time to catch up. So you see if he's going here and he has to go here, these guys are still coming. So he juking here. So then by the time he get the open space, they're a D lineman there or they're a DB already there because they're on the shed they tackle. So now he only getting 7 yards instead of like going downhill. They can't get him yet. Boom.
Yeah, now he's gone. Now he
remember
only
when
got
Michael
one man
Turner?
to
You know
beat.
Michael Turner was here?
Oh, yeah.
And Michael Turner ain't got half the speed that he got. I take that back. He got about half of it.
Yeah,
But he
Turner
got
was
speed.
fast now.
He got speed, but I'm saying when it comes to Turner was downhill. When Turner hit that jump, you might see him break a tackle and go, but he was boom.
Yeah.
And when we see Bijan get like that,
He still
we just want to
he
see
still gotta make
Bijan
moves.
just, you see him have to make a move, boom, boom, boom. Then time he get there, by then the defense of the other team is already, they collected up. Now he didn't shed the blocker, and now Bijan ain't getting like a 7-yard, but he might make a 7 to a 15 because he shook one guy, because the first guy with him is always going to miss. So that's the only thing. I want the old lineman, because they run a lot of stretch plays. They run a lot of plays, so you got to find a gap. You got to stay on that blocker, man. You got to be a little rude. But we might have to get a few more holding calls this year. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's just showing intent. That I'm trying to be rude. And then once you start holding people and stuff, we don't like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get mad and we're gonna start making mistakes too.
Yeah, man. So Jahmyr Gibbs and a chain for Miami. Like, and I'm not saying Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have any wiggle. He's a phenomenal back. He's in the top 5 right now for me in the league right now. But I do see him having more lanes in Detroit than what Bijan is having, able to break those longer runs. A chain down in Miami, he definitely, the long runs I've seen him break, he definitely had that hole, and then he's out. He's gone, hitting his head on the goal post. So if we can get Bijan some more of those, hopefully we can get those longer runs that we want to see out of him. Because he has the speed, he has the talent, but like you just broke it down. I wasn't even thinking of how much he's juking in the backfield, how much he's trying to shake this person and that person. He need a lane where he can go. Now it's just him and a safety, and now he can make a move and bam, he just out.
Yeah, because it looked good for us. It looked good when we see him make that move, but we forget about there's other guys coming. So when he making this move, that linebacker that wasn't going to get there can get there now. Yeah. It brings more people. It makes sense. Like, when you look at it like that, you're like, I love to see him doing them cutbacks. But all that stuff just brings more people to him.
I think you just broke that thing down, bro. Like, I ain't never thought of it like that. I like seeing the juice, like he say, man. But, like, Trey, what I say last year, Bijan don't break enough. When he going to break him? That's probably the reason why he's not breaking him. Hit the hole with Bijan, then juke him later.
Yeah. Well, look, still stand on the Falcons. Let's fast forward a little bit to the first game of the year. We got the Bucks coming in.
Right.
Bucks coming in. Knowing the Bucks team, like you know it, with the Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans and those guys coming in, what do the Atlanta Falcons, have to do to get off to a fast start this season against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they come to the Benz?
You know what? It's going to be a lot of inexperience for us on the team because, like I said, with the new defensive coordinator, so it's kind of tough to say because I think whoever is going to be the home team when it comes to the Bucks this year are going to win the game. Like, I think Carolina is not going to be an issue for us. I think the Saints definitely ain't going to be an issue for us. So I think the only thing we got to worry about is the Bucks. And like in Florida, I give it to the Bucks. In Atlanta, I give it to us just because the comfortability of being home. It's just different situations. And I think the fans are more into it now than ever, and I'm glad. Maybe they're happy to see another black left-hand quarterback, and they want to come see do good. Yeah. But I think even though they were saying the first training camp day, it was the most people they had in years, and I think that's what we need. And I try not to harp on it too much, but if we can get the fans like Green Bay, if we can get the fans like Detroit has now, we can get the fans that New England have, we can get the fans that come to every game, y'all will see a different type team. Because I know when I played, we rarely had like empty stands. We rarely have empty stands, and that makes you want to play better. I know people like, oh, you getting paid, it shouldn't matter. It does. Like, trust me, if you're a singer, if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, you come in there and everything's empty inside. Not saying you ain't still gonna do your job well, but it ain't gonna feel as good. Now, if you got 50 people out in the line waiting for you, you kind of like, let me get this right because I want to make sure. So, like when you come into the new Mercedes Benz, and you know I still call it the Dome for some reason, but when you come to the new Mercedes Benz, we want to see the fans. Like me personally, when I walk through them, I'm like, hey man, I look like last year I was looking, I'm like, man, ain't nobody in the crowd, and it just didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to fight through the crowd. Because it brings more energy to you. I want to see a lot of, Penix jerseys. I want to see, more Bijan jerseys in there because, like, that kind of support, people don't understand how much it means. Just to get in the checks is good sometimes, but having that support from the fans, it takes you to a whole nother level.
Look, and how you related it to music, and that's the best way, with me and B. Rich, of course, you know that, but for the fans who don't know that, when me and B. Rich coming from the music industry, it's a big difference when you're getting ready to do a show and it's a few people out there than those shows when it's already a packed house.
Right.
You feel the energy backstage. People peeking out. Boy, it's packed out there. People peeking. Oh, boy, it's a whole lot of people out there. Everybody excited. The adrenaline is going. Everybody is ready to go. The prayer be praying even harder. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Trey,
everybody is going crazy. What's up?
You remember one of our biggest shows we went to in the beginning was in Denver? The 303.
Yeah.
Feeling, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
When you said that's like,
that was crazy,
crowd,
man. Just a packed house, like just the energy from it. So I can imagine as a player having that same type of energy from the fans. Like, here looking up and then, like 35 to 40% of the stadium, people not in their seats yet.
That's a big stadium.
Yeah. You want it to start off the way it should start off. I can imagine, man. Like NFC Championship game 2016. Man, that was crazy. Like, I know we can't duplicate a playoff atmosphere every single time, but if we could get just any of that kind of energy going, like the building was crazy.
Crazy. That was the last game at the Georgia Dome, wasn't it?
100%.
You was there.
I was there.
How was that, man?
Man, it was one of the most amazing games, one of the most amazing
go
feelings.
Off on that one?
Yeah, man. Yeah, every whole team went off. Boy, whole team went off. Spanked the Packers, man. It was crazy to be a part of it. And just the energy, man, that's the thing I remember the most, the energy around it. Even going into the stadium, like you felt the energy from the fans. Like everyone felt like something was going to happen that day. Something good was going to happen. And man, it did, man. It was fantastic.
You can bring people dreams. You can bring people dreams to reality just from being in a thing. Like you saying, like even with a crowd. Not saying that we still ain't gonna play hard, but when you get all those people that come to see you, because, like, you love just for one person to come see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then when you got thousands, it's like, man, I got to do something today. Like I don't want to disappoint all these people. You disappoint one person, like, that's one story to tell. Disappoint 20,000, 30,000, that's man, a lot of stories to tell, man. So you get right then. And I think Penix needs that kind of stuff. Just playing at Indiana and playing at Washington, he's used to those big crowds. Yes. And you got to understand, when people used to big crowds, when they go to small markets, it don't feel right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying they still ain't gonna try to ball out, but like, man, like what? You used to walk through like thousands of fans, and I was like, you might see. So it's a whole different era. You know what I mean?
No, it definitely is. So I'm excited to see where we go in this first game. When it comes to the division, it may be way too early predictions, but we'll throw it out because I'm sure next time we get you on, we'll be well into the season. Way too early prediction for the NFC South.
No, I can predict it. I say we got 9 and 11 wins. We playing the AFC East and we playing the NFC West, and I think the NFC West is weak this year. Okay. I know we talked about a little bit national stuff, but I think about San Francisco. What y'all think they're gonna do? You don't know, right?
Yeah.
Seattle with Darnold now. You know the Rams. Yeah. We don't even know if Stafford's gonna be healthy.
If Stafford don't play, yeah.
And Arizona Cardinals,
Yeah.
As long as they have that little short quarterback, it's. I ain't saying he ain't a good player, man, but he ain't showed that the star level that we try to put him on. He only had like 30-something. They only got sacked like 30-some times, but he ran a lot. So people got to put that into the situation too. So we're playing them and we're playing the AFC East. Who you got? You got only person you worry about the Bills. Only person you worry about the Bills. The Patriots going to be better because they got a new head coach. You got Miami, which you feel like you can do that. So, and the Jets. And the Jets has a new head coach also. So if you look at their season, I can see them having a good, out of our thing. I think they can pretty much, not saying win all those games. They can win like at least 5 of those games. They could probably win 5 to 7 of those games. And then you put them, like our division is kind of tough because we definitely don't think the Aints going to be anything this year. But you get surprised sometimes.
Yeah.
Every time you get surprised.
They play the Falcons too.
This ain't, man, I don't know. Whatever, Kendall Moore, whatever his name. I think he was just trying to get a job, boy, because I'm trying to. You young, man, you should have waited.
Boy, look,
he signed up with them Aints. He ain't looked at what they got. He was like, man, hey.
And look, hey,
Tyrone Matthews retired. Tyrone
hey,
like,
he said,
man, I'm out
I
of
ain't
this
sticking around for this. I'm up out of here.
Y'all got me messed
Hey, look,
up.
and then he popped off about the Falcons in his press conference, which you're a head coach of the Aints. You supposed to, but he popped off immediately. Said, "Well, 2 wins. We already know we play the Falcons twice, so we already know 2 wins coming our way." He popped off in his introductory press conference.
You had Drew Brees, but who you got now? And I'm a South Carolina guy, 803 all the way. Rattler came there, but man, come on now, man, y'all tripping. And do you understand that? Everybody talks so good about Kamara, and I like Kamara. Like I think he's a great person. He ain't never had 1,000 yards rushing.
What?
Yeah, it messed your head up, didn't it? Yeah, you ain't knew that, did you? He never had 1,000 yards rushing.
Nah.
He never had 1,000 yards rushing. His whole career, he never. I saw that last year, and then this year, last year his best year, he had like 900 yards. He had like 970 or something like that. But he ain't never had. Everybody we get so caught in knowing people's names on teams, we don't realize that their numbers weren't. Okay, look at Dez Bryant, great receiver, right? Look at his numbers. You'll be like, oh. Like, because we just know Dez Bryant's name. And I'm not saying he wasn't a good receiver. Check his numbers, though, before y'all. Like, we're like, oh, yeah, the man, well, he was awesome. He was this. Look at the dude's number. You be like, oh, well. I'm telling you. So, sometimes we just look at stuff a little different because the Kamara thing really did mess me up last year when I was doing research. And I was just like, wow. So all this stuff we talking about how great people are. Be great, around here. But look at people's paperwork sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not expecting anything. I'm definitely not expecting anything out of the Aints this year, man.
No.
So Kellen Moore. When it comes to the division, I'm on the same page as you. Of course, I'm believing that the Falcons can take the division. I'm not gonna just say the Panthers gonna be a pushover though. I'm not gonna go there. I think Bryce Young started finding his footing last year. I think their offense is going to be a lot better. Carolina just seemed like one of those teams that their defense, they may have a lapse a year or two, but for the most part, they keep a pretty decent defense up in Carolina. So I'm interested to see what they can possibly do. I think we're going to roll over the Aints regardless. Even if they end up taking one game, I don't see them being much in the division. Now, Tampa Bay, I think they're just playing together more and more, getting tighter and tighter. I think the whole team believes in Baker Mayfield. I think that the offensive players, they really love him. Mike Evans, like he wasn't even talking about coming back until he knew Baker was going to come back.
My thing about Tampa is, though, I think the only reason I got a problem with Tampa is Todd Bowles. All my old coaches is hard for me to bet against. Like we got Aaron Glenn. I got Aaron Glenn this year, and we got Todd Bowles, guys that I actually played with Aaron Glenn, and now he's coaching in New York.
Yeah,
Raheem was with the Jets also. So it's like 3 coaches that I'm gonna see this year that like I literally played or either had some kind of coaching thing with them. So it's tough, but I think Todd Bowles is finally getting his opportunity to show that he's a great coach. Yeah. Not that he's a great black coach. Not that he's a great,
not that he's just a great defensive coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah.
And he has somebody that can do the schemes he wants. Even though they changed, now this might be different because their offensive coordinator is now somebody else. Their defensive coordinator is now somebody else. So that might be the only thing I think that might be different. They still got the same players, but the defensive, and they lost a couple guys, David and some other guys left. But we got to see, like I said, I'm like this was tough for me to judge I got to see the first game. I want to see what Baker looked like. I want to see if Penix can come in and be comfortable. Because, like the confidence now is good in the preseason.
But you got
last year we saw a little bit of, and nobody and their mama ever want to see Kirk Cousins on that field again. So that's why I'm saying them 5 guys that we got in the front, they better be.
They got to make it happen.
Oh my God, boy, nobody don't want to see Kirk no more, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Look, speaking of linemen, I'm gonna stay right there on Tampa. Now, one thing that for us as Falcon fans we have to look at, they did have one of their starters. He up and retired, like which was kind of shocking. One of their starting offensive linemen. who have been really good for them for the longest, he retired, and then they just had an injury on the offensive line. So how would they come into that first game? It won't be the same offensive line when they play us the very first game that we faced last year. So we'll see. But man, if they come in rolling, they can definitely be an issue in this particular division.
Yeah, I mean that's the well, we can say that with anybody. Like even with Carolina, I'm just circling back to Carolina. I just feel like we're a better team. The experience levels are pretty much the same when it comes to quarterback to me, because I just haven't seen anything in Bryce yet that has showed me he definitely played better last year. We seen it. We seen it when he came in the dome, and he came and played a lot better. But I don't think they really upgraded much. I do like the young guy they got from Arizona, the receiver. We're not sure if Horn's going to be okay. You know, Horn, is he going to be the same guy? So it's a lot of stuff that's going on there. I don't think they really have gelled as a team yet, like not how you want to see it. And I think a lot of it comes with, in my mind, is that our defense is going to be so good that Jeff Ulbrich is going to bring so much pressure, like with the Baker Mayfield, you know, even with Bryce. I think he's just going to know how to hit it, because you got to understand we have athletes on defense now. Only problem I have with our defense is that other corner besides AJ. I'm scared of that because I don't know
Mike Hughes.
I don't know who's gonna be another shutdown corner like AJ. Really doesn't get enough credit because of the team he on. If he was on another team, I think they'll spotlight him more. And we have some great corners in the league now also. But he does a great job. But that the other side is kind of scary, man. Like watching those guys last year, you know, even bringing in Chalk and some other guys trying to fulfill that thing. But I do like White. I like White. Xavier White. I like him. I think he's going to come in and play a lot actually at safety. I think he's a great addition. But like that other corner just scares me, man. Because like watching last year and watching those guys, whenever they went to their side, it's like, you know, offered to, you know, just, and I ain't trying to hate on these guys or nothing, but just put the tape on, man. Like even that Jetta catch, like when he that Vikings game when he was just one guy, that just showed that
somebody
was
turned around.
He
Another
turned
player,
around.
It looked like you're playing Madden.
He was sitting there waiting for the ball to come down, and being an athlete, you got to have some kind of ball location. Like it's like covering a punter, I'm like, so that kind of like took all my little confidence I had in that guy was just like, yeah, I don't. Nah. But no, that's the only problem I see us having on defense, though. But I think our defense is going to be so good that.
Speak it, John.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I think it's going to be so good that it's going to be tough for Carolina to be. I think that's going to be our strength. And you got to understand, if you have a good defense, you get 3 and outs. I used to love getting 3 and outs because I know Matt was going to take it down the field. With Penix, that's what you need. Keep him on the field as much as possible. You want that 70%, 80%. You want the end of the game. You want the plays to be 60 plays for offense and maybe 30 plays for defense. You don't want all that. People don't understand how you putting up 80 plays in the game as a defense. They say, "Oh, this defense is not good," but then they playing 80 plays.
They tired.
Even if you getting 3 like yards a play, you still gonna be tired. That's 240 yards right there. So people don't put that in there. So I remember some games we played our ass off, but then you look at the stat sheet. Oh, they had 100 yards rushing. They ran the ball 50 times, so that's 2 yards a rush. You know what I'm saying? So trying to keep your defense off the field, 3 and outs, and I think that's gonna. I really think that's gonna be the big thing for them this year. So that's why it's hard for me to judge this year, man, because I've been sitting here trying to break it down like for the last weeks. Like I can see us killing the Bucs, but if one play goes wrong, you know what I mean? Because Baker ain't gonna quit. Baker ain't no quitter. You know what I'm saying? And in Carolina, I just think let's say if we have a bad game, and Carolina comes in, so it's kind of tough this year, man.
Yeah.
Except for the Aints. I don't give a shit. We ain't playing that. We lose to the Aints, we're gonna have some issues.
I want to take you somewhere else. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this, but I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. I want to ask you 2 things. First off, why did he fall to the 5th round? And then the last game he played, he kind of shut some naysayers up, even though it's preseason. I want you to talk about that.
Well, the 5th round thing, I don't think nobody can explain it. I don't even think the NFL can explain it. So I think that's a bigger question for, for life, because that's a life thing. Because you can ask anybody and nobody can understand why it happened. I think the first game, it was a good game for him, but I think people also got to understand that he's going to have bad games too. So don't automatically, when he have a bad game, people just jump off the boat. Just stay on the boat. The guy's going to be a good quarterback. He's going to like continue to get better. He's a rookie. He played good that first game. Don't think that's going to be every game because you know how quick people are. They can, oh, yeah, Shador. I saw so many people just jump back on his wagon after this game, and I'm like, man, I can't stand none of these people because let's say if next game he plays and he throw a couple interceptions or something like that, oh, that's what it was. That's why he was a fifth-round pick. No. You got to understand, Peyton Manning had more interceptions than he had touchdowns his rookie year.
That he did.
These all this stuff that people don't understand. Like you want to quarter. You acting like Trevor Lawrence is doing this amazing job down in Jacksonville. I want people to get the same opportunities. Even if he was a fifth-round pick, he's still Shador Sanders. What he did in college is enough that he should have been a first-round pick. Everybody felt that way. Whether it's the politics of the life, you know. And one thing you know about business is people call and talk to each other. So in the draft rooms, you know people were calling like, oh, no, we're not taking him. Oh, no, we're not taking him.
Yeah.
Third round came, no, we're not taking him. So everybody knew that. Everybody in the NFL, all 32 teams knew they weren't going to take him. They knew it. It's not even something to hide. Like, we're not stupid. We've done business. You know behind the doors the situation and people calling and saying stuff like that. But like I said, just give that man grace. And 2-3 years from now, he's going to be that pro that we want him to be. But right now, like, if he goes out and next preseason game and doesn't play as well, I don't want people to fall off that boat because I think he's handled it better than any probably man at 22 years old would. You know, a lot of people, you know, dropping that, you know, I think Aaron Rodgers just dropped to the bottom of the first round and he had a chip on his shoulder. So how you think
Still has a chip on his shoulder.
But how big you think his chip should be being going from the first all the way to the fifth? But he ain't acting like that though. He's still being himself. Yeah. He's still handling mature. He's not crying saying this. He like, look, I'm getting my reps. I'm trying to get better. He ain't out here saying, y'all know I should have did this. Y'all messed me up. He letting everybody else do the talking for me. He doing what he got to do. He putting it on the tape.
Yeah, you say you had one more question for him?
No, he answered. I asked both of them at once.
Man, so speaking, well, I won't say it just yet, but Shador Sanders is kind of part where I may go with this. But I wanted to ask you, like, to you, what's the most interesting division to watch in the AFC this year? Like, if you can pick AFC and NFC, what divisions you paying attention to the most in the AFC, and what division you paying attention to the most in the NFC?
Well, I'm gonna say the AFC East just because Aaron Glenn, the New England Patriots has a new coach, and everybody feels like this is the year for Josh Allen to get past the hump and become a Super Bowl type quarterback. This is his year. Everybody feels that way because nobody kind of feels like Baltimore is ever going to, they don't feel like Lamar is ever going to get over it. So I really do feel like Buffalo is going to pretty much, not saying sweep, I think the Jets are going to be better than people think, even though it's a first year head coach. I think Aaron Glenn is going to be better than people think he's going to be. But I think the biggest mark on everybody is pretty Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I'm not sure if Kansas City is going to be that squad like they were last year. I can't see Super Bowl caliber team this year. I think they're still going to be a good team, and they're going to be somebody that people want to face. But you can kind of see it deteriorating a little bit. You don't see this offseason, it seemed like they did more relaxing than they did before. I didn't see I seen Travis a lot with Taylor. I seen, I guess Mahomes spending a lot of times with the kids. We didn't see a lot of like passing. We didn't see a lot of people doing work. You know what I mean? Like even Xavier, he got his haircut now. Xavier Worthy got his haircut, but I didn't see. You like to see the off season when you see CMC's working. You see Bijan's working. I didn't see anything like anything. Only thing I saw that it was like Travis is coming back this year and he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. And I'm like, but we don't see him like out here doing stuff. We see him in movies. I saw him in Happy Gilmore too. All right, movie. But no. So it's a lot of stuff that I didn't see that I wanted to see in Kansas City this offseason. We lost Super Bowl. But they kind of have that confidence now. We don't got to do all that. I mean, we're that good, and I think that might bite them in the butt. So for the AFC, I would definitely go with the AFC East. I think the Jets, as we watch them now, I think the Jets are going to be good with Justin Fields. I think, like I said, I think Josh Allen has something to prove this year. And if they're terrible, the whole AFC is going to be terrible.
Man, I'm looking at like with Aaron Glenn, with your knowledge on him, like personally as a player and as a coach, I can see why you paying attention to the Jets. You make me gonna watch the Jets even harder now. And Justin Fields, so far that first preseason game, he looked really good. I think the team that I'm watching in the AFC, that I think the most interesting division, and we brought up Shador, I'm gonna go with the AFC North. I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go Lamar, can them boys get over the hump? Can they finally get over the hump? Like, can Lamar finally get them to a Super Bowl? You got the Bengals. It all comes down to quarterback play in that division to me. You got the Bengals. Well, I know what Joe Burrow is going to do, but can he get that team out to a faster start? They've been starting out 0-2, 0-3. Here they come, firing back at the end, playing catch up. And sometimes they hit on all cylinders near the end of the season. Last season, it was one game too short, you know what I mean? But can they get off to a fast start? Then in Cleveland, what they going to do at quarterback? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking what they're going to do. Are they going to give Shador a real chance? Are they going to run Gabriel out there? Like, what are they going to do up there in Cleveland? And then, of course, you know, like the last, you know, but certainly not least, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. What is old A-Rod going to do in Pittsburgh? There are a lot of people who feel like A-Rod is washed. It's a lot of people, and when you got a future Hall of Famer who I think more than likely will end up first ballot Hall of Fame, you got a Super Bowl champion, you got somebody who's definitely considered top 10 best all-time quarterback. It's hard to count them out, but when you add in injury, you add in age, I really don't know what we're going to get out of A-Rod in Pittsburgh. So I'm watching that division because it should be very interesting. We know what Mike Tomlin brings as a coach. But can A-Rod come back to some resemblance of himself? Because it didn't look the same in New York.
No.
It didn't look the same. You didn't see the same A-Rod making the same plays. It was more mistakes. So that's the division that I'm paying attention.
You like soap opera stuff.
Oh, hey, man. Hey,
you want
maybe.
the story. You want that storyline. You want something to talk about.
Maybe.
I don't care about football. Let me see what they got going on.
That is football because like if he can like just bring a little bit of what he was, the Steelers gonna be an issue because we know they gonna bring some kind of defense to the table. The Steelers, they always gonna be a tough team.
So you think Metcalf is gonna be that guy? I mean, like, you know, they got rid of Pickens for him. So you think he's gonna really take it?
What talking about as a receiver up there in Pittsburgh? Man, I think he already solidified the type of receiver he is. Now I will say this: watching Metcalf, he be like explode one or two games, then it be kind of laid back.
That's what I kind of don't see.
Yeah,
I don't see the
do you see that too?
No,
it explode. Then it's kind of laid back.
See the numbers. His numbers didn't shock me like I thought they would. He has great years, but I was like, dang, like we just really like this guy because if you look at it, he hasn't had that, you know, 1,600, 1,700. That's the kind of, you know, we look at Jetta and you look at Jamar Chase. Like this league is to be a great receiver. Not saying you have to get a triple crown, but saying that you need to get over 1,500 yards. Yeah. You know, we want to see one of those years. Like if you're scraping 1,100 every year, it's like it's cool.
Especially you playing 17 games.
Like Mike Evans does it, but Mike Evans is a great receiver.
Oh yeah,
he's a great. Now I'm not trying to say
100%.
that. So when I'm saying this, don't say that I'm taking anything away from Mike Evans. He done it for like 11 years straight, so it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't see the explosion that I want to see. I want to see more deep balls in him. Even like with us, like with Drake London, I'll tell him to his face. I say you remind me of Mike Evans, and I say that because, you know, Mike can take it to the house every now and then, but I haven't seen that with Drake yet. Like I think the only thing that we're missing in the Falcons is that them home run balls that we're used to seeing with Julio. Like you get a 5-yard route with Julio and it's to the house. Like we haven't had that in any. We didn't have that in any concept with any. Like we didn't have that. I think the only time we might have had it was on like that one play. I can't even think of his name right now. The guy we just signed, number 4 now, Hodge.
Oh, to my heart.
Yeah.
Well, of course we got Mooney.
But I'm
Mooney
saying,
can beat some people over the top.
Yeah, but I mean,
we talking about a play that was made in the game. Yeah,
Kadar Hodge got the speed.
Kadar Hodge in the Tampa game.
When you see the one play, somebody just boom. I'm not talking about.
No, I get what you're saying.
I'm not talking about like I'm not
just
talking
having
about,
speed.
I'm not talking about throwing it deep. I'm talking about
that 5-yard
boom,
accelerate,
explode.
Like when I hear explosive plays, I know explosive plays is really talking about numbers. But when I say explosive play in my mind, it's somebody making something out of nothing. Like when we watch Saquon Barkley, you'll see him hit the hole, and then you'll see him go 30. So it could have easily been a 5-yard run. Like that's why I call it explosive. Explosive was for like on paper.
No, I get what you're saying.
Get 30 or 40 yards.
No, I get what you're saying.
For me, explosive is like when you see Julio, he'll catch it here.
Yeah, and
then next thing you know, you just start seeing this.
Yeah,
like,
he gone.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I think we're kind of missing because I want to see more of that. And I think we possibly have the players that can do it. Like with Kyle Pitts, like we know you can run fast. We want to see you catch these short out routes and just turn up. You know what I mean? Like I want to see Bijan get that. I love him to see just a freaky looking screenplay. And screenplays, you know, you might get 15, 20 yards. Just see him break it. You know what I'm saying?
Take
Like,
it down.
I think that's the explosion I want to see. And you want to see the fans really get into a game. That's the kind of stuff. If we're coming to a game, or if you're a fan and you're coming to a game, but you're not expecting nothing like that. With Julio, people came to the game because they didn't want to miss a play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because you never know what's going to
because
happen.
you can't rewind it when you first see it. You
Yeah.
might can rewind and see the play, but you want to be like first person to see it. Be like, man, you should have seen that damn play that Julio did just now. Man, he hit that jump man out there. Then after they seen it, you saw it first, so you want to get that same attraction. Because we can be a 9-5 team and just boom, 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 and block it down and score. But you know, when it's to the point that it's 28-21, we got like a minute left on the clock.
We need some plays.
You want boom, you want somebody bam and
Yeah, take it there.
yeah,
Make
you
those
want to
plays.
be able to turn it over like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Well, funny how time flies when we having fun, man. Trey, you want to take us on out of here, man? Last takes.
Oh man, we gone already. Well, one last thing I did have to ask John about before we go. I can't shut it down without speaking on the ring. My man got a real sharp ring right there, man. You want to tell the people what that is right there?
Yeah,
That
man.
thing
You
real
know,
sharp.
well, y'all knew last time I came here and I told y'all about it, and I know B Rich know about it. But you know, I graduated from college finally. Yeah, man. So
Give it up, man.
So yeah,
up, man?
my mom said she wanted the ring, but I said I'm gonna wear it a little while. You know, if anybody know me, I don't really, I don't like. If you come to my house, you wouldn't know I played football. Like I don't have pictures up of myself. I don't like trophies and stuff. I don't keep none of that stuff. I get it to my mom. I get it to somebody that I think care more about it. But for this ring, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep it. So you know, it means a little something to me. I'm gonna eventually get it to my mom because I don't want to lose it. But you know, it is what it is, and I think it's something that I needed to do for myself, and I think that's a lot of stuff that we think that we don't have time. You always have time, but you just got to get started.
Man, hey, look, so I'm glad that I touched on that because I think that's so important for so many people. It don't matter your age.
Right.
It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter what you're doing. You know, Ryan Cameron said something to us when he interviewed with us last year, and that goes to you going ahead and graduating. He said dreams don't have deadlines.
Exactly.
And that's super important. So I'm glad we
Congratulations
touched
on
on
that,
that, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
All y'all out there, you get inspired by the plays, you get inspired by the highlights that you go and watch, but you're looking at a man who went ahead and got his degree, went back and got it, man. And so that should be saluted the same way we salute the plays, man. I respect that. I definitely respect that. But look, man, we about to get on up out of here. So John has already said, like, he coming back. He coming back. He
Yeah,
coming
man.
back.
Happy to
He's
announce
going to be
that.
coming once a month, man. We're going to be talking about all things current about the Falcons and around the league. And, hey, man, look, Falcons, we're going to get it this year, man. So, like I always tell y'all, the Waterboy Show, we represent Atlanta because Atlanta represents us. On behalf of myself, Trey, my partner, B Rich, the great John Abraham, number 55, all the way live, and Aaron, Whoa, Pittman, the Waterboy Show, we are out.
Kill the camera.